The campaign objectives for the Maximus campaign was to expand beverage portfolio, as global trends were showing that energy drinks such as V were not selling as much. They also had several financial and branding goals to hit. The Answer matrix shows the thought process with the branding. They asked the target audience what they wanted, and they also asked themselves what could they offer with the resources they had on hand. And they came up with Maximus isotonic drink. The main challenges faced was the competition. Powerade and Gatorade had a strong 98% share of the category. The retailers did not want to change the status quo. They had a poor record of failed campaigns, and consumers weren't asking for anything new. The competitors did have more advertising collateral. They had strong sponsorship, and they had decades of being in the front of consumers' minds when it came to isotonic drinks. Maximus's product itself really wasn't that different apart from packaging and price, and Maximus didn't have the trust of consumers, and it also had a very tight budget. So how did the agencies work together? They had to work very strategically to create a campaign that was efficient and effective in the best way possible. They had a 3-year focus to make the product both mentally and physically available to the consumers and retailers. They focused year 1 on physical availability and year 2 and 3 on physically and mentally availability. So here it is in the years planned out. So they used the creative and the media planning and buying with a client to work together in the most efficient and effective way to make the campaign Maximus physically and mentally available for consumers and retailers. They set up the means to make the product physically and mentally available through distribution. They analysed the target audience. So they understood exactly who they were targeting, and so no one will miss out, but no one will be over-targeted as well. And the creative used the media's provided to send a consistent and clear message, and to make sure that IMC tools were consistent and recognisable as well. So we see here that we have the 3 products. The competitors, the Maximus, were also a low-risk product, and the target audience was also looking for a low-risk product. The difference between the competitors and Maximus was that competitors were offering a scientific sports product, whereas Maximus was not. The target audience was buying something that was advertised for them that was for scientific sports, although they didn't think that they were. So the consumer wanted a low-risk product when they wanted to have an isotonic drink. There were 3 main products on the market. They all seemed pretty much the same, except one was larger and the same price as the rest. The post-purchase evaluation is that they got value for money with that product. Knowing that Maximus is a low-involvement product helped the media planners and buyers focus marketing to the right target audience and the creative to produce appropriate campaigns. The media and planning buying agency used the SWOT analysis to understand the internal and external factors of launching Maximus. While some elements were negative and external, they would not necessarily negatively affect the marketing. In fact, they can use those elements to make a strong marketing campaign in the manner of making a non-sports person's isotonic drink. The Maximus campaign was successful because there was a high amount of brand awareness. They appealed to the emotional rationale of the target audience, and the messages in all the out-of-home campaigns were relatable, funny, and memorable. It was unsuccessful in the way that the wider audiences missed out, and some out there don't even know it exists yet. There isn't really much difference between the products. The size and the price is different, but what's inside the bottles, there isn't much taste, and then sometimes it could push away health-conscious consumers. The media strategy achieved campaign goals, and the product was mentally and physically available. The target audience was not overwhelmed with too much information and not too little information. Again, they may have missed out a target audience, and despite branding and packaging differences, Maximus isn't that different. And Maximus is at times viewed as a cheaper option. What they could do to improve the campaign, they could search for a wider audience. They could make further identifiable changes to the product to differentiate it from the shelves. And they continue with Maximus Academy to be able to grow the brand and continue the marketing campaign further. So the bottle doesn't seem like a standalone option. And they could also develop the product to tie in with the foreseeable changes in global trends, such as a healthy option for isotonic drinks.